Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Epic Vision Zone. My name is Jane Applegath, founder of the Epic Vision Zone, Conversations That Inspire. Each show, we offer you an inspiring person or message to bring you closer to your big dreams so that you can live your epic life now. Thank you for being here. And if you're listening to the audio version, be sure to follow the episode on your favorite app. And if watching on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Malcolm Forbes wrote, "Food may be essential as fuel for the body, but good food is fuel for the soul." Aelie Swift has been in the food industry since 2008, creating delicious gluten-free meals catered to those with food allergies. Her passion has been inspiring women over 40 to get fit and eat more protein. After 5 years in the fitness industry, Aelie noticed how women struggled to eat enough protein and how they would constantly food shame themselves, feeling guilty for enjoying a little indulgence. Aelie saw an opportunity to create a solution that allowed women to get back to eating pancakes on the weekends and baking cookies with their kids while getting the protein they needed. She became the founder of Hello Amino, a company that introduced high-protein, gluten-free baking mixes and yummy teas. Their protein-packed mixes allow customers to enjoy the foods they love while getting the protein they need. All Hello Amino recipes are chef-crafted and created by Aelie and her husband, McLean, who is the chocolate lover in the family, creating the protein brownies and pudding mixes. Oh, how yummy. I can't wait. Hello, Aelie. Thank you so much for joining us here today.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Well, I'm so excited to get started. What you have created here is I think an opening in a product line that is so needed in today's world. And kudos to you because the light bulb went on for you. I read in your storyline, and I'm so excited to delve into this. So, what why, I mean, I know your background, so why did you start Hello Amino, and what inspired you to create baking mixes as opposed to some other food product?
Sure, yeah. I talk a lot about my time training women in the fitness industry and their struggle to eat enough protein. But in truth, it was actually the pandemic that spurred this business into its birth. I own another food business, and it was through that really challenging time that I was looking for a way to earn another income, to pivot in that food business into a more packaged good business. And it kind of inspired me as I was continuing to coach women through their fitness journey and continue to hear the problem that they have is, Ailey, how do I hit my protein goals? How do I eat more protein? So, as I was kind of researching a way to pivot into another business through this really challenging time, I, being a sucker for a cookie, started there first. So, cookies are my total guilty indulgence, no longer guilty, mind you. And I thought, you know what? Let's start with creating a protein cookie first. And it quickly kind of caught on, and I decided I didn't want to start a bakery. So I went down the mix approach offering. And during that time, everybody was baking at home, right? We were doing a lot of baking at home. And so it just really lent well with that particular season we were all in to create a high protein cookie mix that you could get back to enjoying the foods that you love, but still get the protein that we need. And that's where I started, and that's why I went along those baking mix line.
That's incredible because the pandemic, it was very difficult for everyone, and a lot of individuals had to pivot. But the fact that you took it upon yourself to use your experience, I say experience meets creativity, and use that in a way that would sustain your business in a different way. So I love the fact that you've used experience because there's a lot of entrepreneurial women today that are wanting to step out into a new business, wanting to create something new and different. And give us a little insight into how that made it maybe not necessarily easier, but creating a vision from your experience. I know you said that you had clients that were telling you, but just delve in a little bit more into that, because there's a lot of female entrepreneurs that are in your shoes or wanting to step into them.
Well, I mean, first of all, I come from an entrepreneurial family. I'm
Mm.
like fourth generation entrepreneur, right? My dad and my mom run a business together. My dad's dad owned a business. My dad's dad's dad owned a business, right? So entrepreneurship just runs in my blood. But if you really want to delve into that game, so to speak, you really have to find out what you're passionate about. So I've always been passionate about food. I have gotten into the fitness industry. My husband actually introduced me to that. He's got the 25 years of experience in the fitness industry. So, when I kind of took those two passions and brought them together, that's what you need to have, because being an entrepreneur takes grit. It takes hard work. It takes the ability to get past the struggle. And if you're not truly passionate about the specific subject or the item you're going into business on, you just won't make it. Women take on so much as it is, and we tend to do all the things. And if you're going to take on being an entrepreneur on top of the rest of everything we tend to do, taking care of the family and the house, and ourselves, then you really need to be passionate about that.
Mm, I love that. Passion number one. Yes, that's the driving
Mhm.
force, because you're right. When we get stressed, when we get tired, if there's not that passion, that driving force to keep us going, we're just going to throw up our hands and go, oh, it's just too much. I can't do it.
100%.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you for that insight. Really great. I love it. And you're all about the passion to profits. That's the title for your business.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So your target market, what um, made you, I know that you created your products for, your clientele, but you had a specific target market in mind when you did this creation. Give us a little insight into that.
I mean, I think when we start a business, we always tend to look for the person we know the best, ourselves. So a business model tends to emulate, us and, things that we're interested in or equally struggling with. So being an over 40 woman, I kind of went there first. What does the over 40 woman struggle with? Making sure that they're eating enough and eating enough protein. And again, getting into that kind of perimenopause, menopause timeline, it's even more important that we're getting enough protein in our diets. And most women tend to not realize that. So I kind of went with my marketing strategy, towards that woman, really wanting to help her fuel her body during a very kind of different time of her life, as she starts to kind of enter into that perimenopause era. She's going to go through some differences in life. And if she's well fed and getting enough protein, it will make the transition much easier.
Hmm. I love that. So you're taking your personal experience
Mm.
and using that as a process to figure out, okay, this is what I've been struggling with. I'm sure I'm not the only woman who's struggling with this. And of course you had your clients as well. But
Yeah.
you to start from yourself, it gives you so much information because you already know what you've been going through. And I love that, because that provides a whole nother avenue for your products, in the sense that
Mhm.
it's fabulous for women going through this transition in the next stage of their life. Wow, that's fascinating. And of course, it's all good. But this leads us actually to our next question, which is brand uniqueness. And I think I hit on something there. But what
Yeah.
makes the Hello Amino brand different, and how important is branding? Because I've seen you post a
Mhm.
couple of things on Instagram, and I just would love for you to delve into that.
Yeah, that's a great question. I think that early on, when I decided to bring kind of Hello Amino to the market in terms of social media marketing, it became very clear to me that I didn't want to just market a product, right? We've we are sold to a lot in life, and to just talk about the baking mixes as a product alone is doing disservice. So I really wanted to focus more on a lifestyle brand that would help educate women why it's important to eat more, and that it's not, we get too often stuck in this eat less mentality. And I realized that it's not just about protein, it's just about eating in general, making sure we're fueling our bodies well, and that we're not scared of food, and we're not trying to food shame or feel guilty for indulging. At the end of the day, people buy people more than they buy products. And
Mm.
so I really wanted this to come across in how we marketed Hello Amino, that it's not just me selling baking mixes, but McLean and I are kind of very boots on the ground, getting in front of people and helping to share what makes us different, not just as these key points in our product, but how it fits into your life and how it can really change your life. So it's really more of a lifestyle brand rather than, us trying to just sell a product.
Yes, absolutely. You're absolutely right. It goes up there with the protein shakes, a lot of there's so many new products that are coming onto the market that are for
Mhm.
not just your vitamins, but getting nutrition through all of the new uh, the plant based items, et cetera, et cetera. So this I could see exactly where it is a lifestyle product uniqueness. Now, you touched a little bit on this and the branding and where you place your product, but give our audience a feel for your mixes, because I think it's fabulous what you're doing.
You know, there's a few other protein mixes out on the market, but what makes Hello Amino unique is that we have something for everybody. So we haven't just set ourselves as a protein pancake company, for instance. We really, again, going back to that brand, want you to be able to enjoy all the foods that you love, right? Without feeling any sort of guilt or not being able to hit your protein goal. So we have a very large variety of about 13 different products that you can enjoy. So that makes us incredibly unique. The other bit that is unique is that they're all gluten free. We get asked this all the time, which ones are gluten free? Because usually a brand will make one of their products gluten free, and we've chosen to make all of them gluten free, which makes us very unique. The other big unique product from us is that a lot of products out there that are packed with protein can taste like protein, and that have that kind of crystally protein texture, which is very off-putting. And we often get asked that, can you taste the protein? We've tried to make our mixes taste exactly like you would think a traditional mix would. You would never know it's gluten-free, and you would never know it's protein. And we have many people that agree with that. It's very good quality and taste and texture to remind you of your favorite traditional baked good.
Mm. So this is really all about having your cake and eating it too. Seriously, I
100%. Yep.
I love it.
100%. Yeah. It was
Oh,
just one too many times of feeling like I couldn't have something if I wanted to align with my goals, or I would have to feel guilty or shameful if I did have something that I was like, or even that if I didn't feel good. I just did a post about this, that often if you indulge in something, a rich dessert, you kind of don't feel good in your body afterwards. You feel a bit bloated and heavy,
mm.
where we can enjoy our protein goodies and without feeling that way.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love it. You'll just have a big bash and make every one of your mixes, and everybody will be, this is fantastic. I think it's great. Oh my gosh. Well, tell us what it's like running your business with your husband. This is really something that is actually coming to fruition for a lot of couples.
Hmm. Again, I was raised by a mother and father who ran a business together. So it was modeled for me early on, but never, ever did I think that McLean and I would start a business together. Um, I often refer to us as, the best of and the worst, right? We are very different people, and we have very different strengths. And because of that, it kind of almost makes us a bit of a dream team. But that also is equally very difficult to work with because I'm very much the creative one, right? As a chef by trade, I have the creative kind of mindset and I go by how I feel and what my emotions tell me and what my heart tells me. And McLean is opposite of that. He's very logical thinker, very practical, rational, systems oriented. And so it actually makes for an amazing team as long as we know where to kind of stay in our zones. We decided early on that McLean would be in charge of production. He is a systems guy, and so he can create systems for the production end of it. He also is in charge of anything technical. That is definitely not my forte. Where, I mostly am in charge of the recipes, although he has dabbled in that, which you alluded to earlier. I'm mostly in charge of the recipes, but also in charge of, just customer service, sales, and marketing. I'm the one who likes to be on camera and really talking and engaging with our community. And that's my forte. So we've realized what our strengths are, and we tend to stay in our zones for the most part. And it has enabled us to look at this business from a much more kind of whole perspective because of what each is able to add to the table and bring to the company. So that, if I was left on my own to run Hello Amino, I swear I would be hand mixing one mix at a time still all this time later, and we've sold this year 10,000 mixes. So if you can imagine doing it by hand, that just would not do at 10,000 mixes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's fabulous that, you work, you've got so many, both of you have different strengths, but bringing them together works absolutely beautifully because, that there needs to be the creativity, like you said, with not just the mixes, but I'm sure you're more the person who looks at the branding, the colors of the packaging,
Mm-hmm.
what feels good, which is so beautiful because that's the feminine energy. Everything that you said, the
Yes.
creativity, the emotion, you love to interact with the customer. That's all the feminine energy. And then the male energy
Mm-hmm.
makes sense because they tend to be much more logical and certainly on the technical level as well. I mean, I'm the same way. We're actually Grant and I are the same as you and McLean. I mean, absolutely. I'm the creative. He's the technical. Thank goodness. I
Right.
just
I
don't. We
know.
don't.
Yeah.
We don't need that static cluttering up our minds. We need to be creative. We
Yeah.
need the
Yeah.
space. Absolutely. But that's beautiful. I love it. So
I
find.
mean, it is hard.
Hopefully, go ahead.
It is hard because, there is, when you run a business with your partner, there is an opportunity to not shut it down, right? To not shut it off. So I will just say, if anybody else is looking to start a business with their partner, one decision McLean and I made earlier this year, which was the best thing we've ever done for our marriage and for our business, is actually every 6 weeks we schedule a weekend off. And that's a
Mm.
non-negotiable because otherwise I can fill our weekends up with a market every single weekend. But every 6 weeks, we book a weekend off. We unplug. We don't talk business. We focus on us. We do something fun. We get away. Sometimes we just stay in a hotel right in the city. But we focus on making sure that we're staying connected as husband and wife and not just business partners. And that has been a game changer for us this year.
Mm. That is the best piece of advice. I love it. You're absolutely right because you lose the romance, you lose the focus, you lose the
Yeah.
partnership because all you're doing is working, working, working.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you
Yeah.
for that. That was very insightful and very necessary. Well, moving on to new products. Speaking of you being the creative,
Mm.
you've just bought a new beverage line, protein tea lattes, which sound
Yes.
absolutely amazing, which are super unique. Tell us about these.
Yeah, we've been really excited about this launch. It was quite a while in the working. Like a lot of our products, they take a little bit to perfect. And this one was no different. We wanted to make, again, these taste like just like your traditional coffee shop versions. So a chai latte, a golden milk latte, and a London fog, but again, packed with protein. So an alternative to a protein shake, something that you can feel good about. Again, oftentimes we'll go to the coffee shop, we'll spend a fortune on these lattes. They'll be high in sugar and, it just won't align with our goals once again. It's just spending $7 on emptiness. And, again, we wanted something that people could enjoy as a part of their day and make more of a ritual. So a daily ritual that they can enjoy while getting in their protein. You can drink them hot or cold, which is great. So even though we launched them in the middle of summer, they've been very popular to have iced. And actually, they've become in one short month our top sellers. So they overtook our pancakes, our brownies, and our muffins, which are typically our top sellers. And they're taking number one spot because people just enjoy drinking them on a daily basis. And it's something different. If you want to add it to your coffee as well, you can make a dirty golden or a dirty chai. So you can, if you're a coffee lover, you don't have to love tea to be able to enjoy these.
Oh, I love that. I can't wait to try them. I saw the launch come through on your social media posts, and I was like, oh, these look so yummy. And then I know you did the Calgary Stampede, and of course you were bombarded.
Yes.
And there you said that these became one of the top. Well, they came the top seller, which I could see.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fabulous. Well, speaking of products, then, do you have plans to expand your product line outside of the teas? And what considerations do you review when you're looking to expand your product line?
This is the pro and the con with keeping production in-house, right? If we had used a co-packer, which most food brands do, we would be more limited to the expansion we can do on products. But because we produce everything in our licensed facility here in Calgary, we are able to, innovate on a dime. And we brought out a special pouch just for that, our limited edition pouch, so that we could then create something innovative very, very quickly and bring it to market. So definitely we've got plans. And again, I say it's a pro and a con because, sometimes you have a hard time scaling back and not just like trying to have a million different products out there. Which can be costly for us to do. But we brought out our banana bread, for instance, which was supposed to be just a limited edition, is so popular now we have to bring it out full time. We are working on expanding the beverage line, so bringing out some limited edition blends, more along the lines of moving away from just more teas, but something in the more whole wellness beverage concept. So with a variety of superfoods, things that are good for sleep, and we will be packing them full of collagen versus the protein. So thinking more along the lines of a wellness beverage, but still getting in that protein, but in a collagen format. So that is very exciting, and hopefully we'll be releasing one that's good for bedtime later this year. And then we do have a lot of requests for savory as well. So that is not something that will be coming out this year for sure, but is on our radar, working on a protein bagel mix or kind of a savory scone, that kind of thing. So stay tuned.
I want one of each. I'm like
I know,
listening to
right?
you, and
It's
I'm like,
hard to pull back.
I'm like, okay, I'll take one of those. I'll take one of those, and okay, I'll take a couple of those. Absolutely. My gosh, it's so exciting. I mean, the fact that you've found your niche and it's lifestyle, and you're making these wellness either mixes or drinks. I mean, yes, that's the key. Oh my gosh, I can't
Mhm.
wait. So exciting. Well, what is the most difficult part of owning a food brand business?
Scaling, honestly, the growth. So what a lot of people don't realize is that in order for you to create a food product, you have to kind of just start with buying ingredients at a grocery store. I mean, right? You just like, that's where you go, right? You have to just start there while you're creating. And then it's figuring out how to grow so that you can move into wholesale and then meet their minimum requirements, right? Because a wholesale ingredient provider has a minimum order quantity, where you have to order, at least this much, right? And that's very challenging to meet for a food brand at the beginning stages. Yet when you go to the grocery store and purchase and pay retail, it's now very expensive as well. So trying to manage the growth and keeping your margins or your costs in check is very challenging. And it's actually why most food brands fail. Why most food products go out of business is because they cannot match that scaling process while managing their pricing, right? Managing how much it costs them, because there's only a finite amount that you can charge for a food product that people will buy. And so when you're just working with a retail cost on ingredients before you can get into the real kind of big savings of a large wholesaler, it's a really tough balance, really, really hard to do. So that's been our biggest challenge, and quite frankly, still continues to be our biggest challenge, finding the wholesaler that you can work with, that has the ingredients that you need, you can meet their minimum order requirements, and keep your costs in check while still offering your product at a cost that the customer will be able to afford.
Yes. Yeah, I could see that. And of course, these days, even more challenging with the
Right?
costs of things, that everything's yo-yo, this price
Yeah.
this week, that price the next week, just depends on what
Mhm.
week you're in. But yes, I could see where that could be very challenging, and I could see where that'd be challenging on a growth level too. So thank you for sharing that, because I do have a couple of entrepreneurs that are in the food industry, and again, they're lifestyle products, but the same
Mhm.
challenges are there for them as well. So, as an entrepreneur, what is the most valuable advice that you can share with other female entrepreneurs?
I think it goes back to what I spoke about at the beginning is, making sure that you have a passion for what you're doing. Um, you know, Success isn't linear, right? It's going to be like this, right? And your business is going to be like this. You're going to have some amazing highs and you're going to have some really deep lows. And in order for you to kind of stay on the path and continue growing your business, you have to embrace both sides and be very passionate about what it is that you're doing so that you can handle the lows when they come, and stay, focused on your passion, and the main goal that you have in mind, because you're definitely, it's not going to just be like this, and it's not just going to be like this, right? It really does have ebbs and flows.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for that. Now, where can people buy the Hello Amino mixes and teas?
Yeah, so we are in a few select local retailers. We decided fairly early on that we wanted to focus really on local retailers versus going into the big supermarkets, into businesses that really support Calgary and the surrounding areas. And so you can find us, the very first person who gave us our very first retail store was the owner, Marissa at Herc's Nutrition. It's a supplement store. She has two locations, one downtown in Lower Mount Royal, just off 17th Avenue, and then one up in the Northeast in Jervis City. And so she carries pretty much all of our products, and she's been such a huge supporter for us. And that is the only retailer right now that carries our tea latte mixes. We also are sold at Lakeview Bakery, which a lot of Calgarians, especially the gluten-free ones, are familiar with. So you can find just four of our products at Lakeview Bakery. They carry our muffins, our brownies, and our pancakes. And then also another local butcher, which is the Better Butcher on Heritage. That is my butcher of choice. They have the most amazing local meat, and they carry our pancakes there. And then finally out into Okotoks, Nutters in Okotoks. Okotoks has been a huge supporter of Hello Amino, and we went into Nutters, and they've been doing really well with our products there too. So you can find most of our products at Nutters, but also online. Our online store is, is one of our kind of focuses, so that people can easily order online. We have a subscription kind of plan where you can get your Hello Amino mixes automatically delivered every 1 or 2 months. So you'll never run out of your favorites. And we deliver locally Mondays and Thursdays. So my husband is usually the one in charge of deliveries. We've wrangled in our oldest son here recently as well. So he goes around delivering the mixes on Mondays and Thursdays.
Oh, that's wonderful. So, for those people that are in the United States, can they
Yeah.
purchase your products?
Absolutely. Yeah, we ship
Okay.
across the United States as well. So across Canada into the United States also. So absolutely, they can order online and we ship there.
Oh, wonderful. Because I do have family in Toronto as well. So, I'm
Yeah,
originally
yeah.
from
We've
Toronto.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, we've got some customers in Toronto for sure. Since doing the Calgary Stampede, actually, we've had a large increase in both outside of Calgary and getting throughout Canada and more into the United States, which is great.
Yeah, 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 because there's a huge market, but absolutely. So anyone who is interested locally in Calgary, Ailey just gave us a whole bunch of retailers, and you can go to the website. Speaking of that, where can people get in touch with you, and what is the website address?
Yeah, so helloamino.com is our address, pretty simple to remember for finding us online. And then otherwise at Hello Amino on Instagram. Instagram is my kind of social channel of choice. I am on Facebook as well. And I dabble in TikTok, but sending me a DM through Instagram, I'm the one in charge of my Instagram. So I answer all of the DMs that come through there. And again, you can find us on our website at helloamino.com.
Wonderful. And we'll have all that information available as well on the Epic Vision Zone bio pages. Thank you for that. Well, because we're here at the Epic Vision Zone, I have one last question for you, Ali. If your life were an epic story, what would the title be?
An epic story. I feel like my life is an epic story. I really truly do. You
That's
know,
great.
if it the title would be Through Adversity Comes Growth. This is
Through
a kind
adversity
of a
comes, what was that? Sorry.
growth. Through adversity comes
Ah,
growth.
yeah.
So this is something that my dad taught me a long, long time ago. That to embrace the adversity in life, because that's when we really grow and where we really shine is during the very difficult times. And that's, I think, what the title would be, because it's through the challenges that I faced over the course of my life is how I've grown. And it's the same through Hello Amino, that the challenges are what kind of propels that business forward too.
Yes, I love that. It's true. Because I always say if your dream doesn't freak you out, it's not big enough.
Yes,
Because
absolutely,
the,
one hundred
the
percent,
bigger the bigger it is, the more it's going to push you to grow. And that's what we're all
one
here
hundred
to
percent.
learn and grow, absolutely, and
Yeah.
to share our gifts. So, well, thank you so much again, Ali, for joining us here today and sharing your incredible story. I am just so happy for you. I love female entrepreneurs that are killing it. And I love that it came to fruition during the COVID shutdown, because there are so many women that have stepped up since then. And like I said before, you can go to helloamino.com to find out where you can purchase, and also purchase right there online. And we will have all that information on the Epic Vision Zone bio pages. And you can connect with Ali on social media. And I know her Instagram is her go-to. So be sure to follow me as well on Instagram. That is my go-to, at Jane Applegath. And don't forget to connect with me at janeapplegath.com, where you can access your free download, The Keys to Your Dreams. Sending you much love and success. This is the Epic Vision Zone, transforming your dreams into epic success.